Excellent. Well, thank you all for coming today and joining. Welcome to the launch of the University of Michigan and Universidad Adolfo Ibáñez Academic Cooperation Alliance in Mathematics and Data Science. We're really pleased that you have joined us on this occasion, in which we will share different academic collaboration opportunities that you can explore under this alliance. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Vanessa Gomez. I'm the International Affairs Manager for the Faculty of Engineering and Science at Universidad Adolfo Ibáñez, and I'll be responsible for hosting this event. To start the session, I'm glad to welcome the following speakers. We have Mr. Carlos Jerez. He's the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and Science at Universidad Adolfo Ibáñez. Mr. H.V. Jagadesh, who is the Director of the Mccain Institute for Data Science at the University of Michigan. Mr. Leopoldo Bertozzi, who is the Academic Director of the Doctoral Program in Data Science at Universidad Adolfo Ibáñez. Mrs. Lidia Vieri, who is the Director of the Michigan Center for Applied and Interdisciplinary Mathematics at the University of Michigan. And lastly, Mr. Gonzalo Ruz, who is Dean Research and Innovation Associate at Universidad Adolfo Ibáñez Faculty of Engineering and Science. And now to start the session, we would like to welcome our Dean, Mr. Carlos Jerez.
Thank you very much for this kind introduction, and it's a true pleasure to start officially our collaboration between the University of Michigan and our Faculty of Engineering and Sciences in two specific areas that are wide enough to extend to many other areas as well of our everyday work at the university. So if we can move in the slides. Next one, please. So as a Faculty of Engineering and Sciences, we are striving, perhaps you can go to the previous one. Thank you. So we have obviously several areas of expertise within these disciplines. And in particularly what we're trying to achieve is an interdisciplinary connection between science, technology, engineering, arts, in our case, liberal arts and mathematics, to have a smart and sustainable development of areas that are particularly interesting and impactful in Chile. One of them is mining, of course, but then we have water, natural resources, food, energy, space exploration, urban and built environment, education, health, well-being. And the way we try to accomplish this is by rigorously involving science and technology in its disciplines, but with a strong sense of interdisciplinary impact. And these are the areas where you would see today most of our faculty relates to one way or another. We are also an engineering and sciences faculty. That means we have people doing astronomy or people doing civil engineering or data sciences, of course, that integrate and achieve interesting developments in this area together with this focus on impact. Next slide, please. For the coming years, we have four axes that are interrelated, where we want to position the faculty and our partnership with our communities inside Chile and outside Chile on four different areas. One is new engineers for 2030, a diverse and cutting-edge postgraduate education offer, research of greater scope and impact, and a virtuous ecosystem of innovation and entrepreneurship. And for all these pillars, it's key to have strong partnerships, such as the one we are launching today with the University of Michigan, to accomplish these goals, not only for undergraduate, but also graduate, not only for research, but innovation. And what we'd like to see in the coming years is that what started as a Zoom call becomes something else, with people traveling back and forth, joint projects, raising funds together, and so on. Of course, there's a long way to that. It's a lot of promises there, but we will strive for and commit to give our best effort in that sense. One last thing I wanted to comment, and we can move to the next slide, please, is the huge opportunity that the university currently has through what's called the Data Observatory Foundation. This is a national foundation where the Ministry of Science and Technology, the Ministry of Economy, Amazon Web Services, and Universidad Adolfo Ibáñez, through our faculty, are working together to enable a large-scale infrastructure for hosting and handling large, huge data sets that can be of global value to promote science, technology, innovation, knowledge, and that already has seen quite a few interesting developments by the use of satellite data for Chile, astronomical data to create alarm systems for 10 million objects in space per night, and so on and so forth. What we see here is also a huge playground, let's put it this way, for this partnership also to accommodate our projects and our research into something that has already national impact, and we hope also international. So without much further ado, I would like to end here, and I thank you very much, in particularly the commitment, Lydia, Yeri, and Professor Jagadish, and also Eric Mikkelsen, who could not be here present, to support this partnership. And we hope that this inspires you, motivates you to come up with further ideas and new initiatives. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dean. So we will now move to following part of our webinar. I guess you can see my presentation, right? So in general terms, the academic collaboration agreement, for you to know, was signed in January 2021 this year, and is an agreement that has been in place, well, it will be in place for 5 years, and the main purpose is to promote academic cooperation and scientific research. There are many benefits and opportunities for the faculty, which will now be shared by the following speakers. Now we have Mr. H.B. Jagadish. As I mentioned, he is the director at MIDAS, and Professor Leopoldo Bertozzi. Please, Leo.
Okay, I'm going first then. Okay, well, it's a pleasure and an honor to be launching this agreement with MIDAS on data science. Our university has made artificial intelligence and data science priority areas of growth. Actually, several researchers have been hired as faculty in the last 2 years, and we are still growing. Our group is now in data science and AI, is among the largest in our country, and definitely the largest in a fully private university, as ours. In our group, we bring together computer scientists, statisticians, engineers, and mathematicians. And a few interesting things have happened lately. We created a Master of Science in Data Science that started in March last year. It is a research-oriented program where the student have to write a research thesis, and we have by now a bit more than 30 students enrolled in the program. We also, have a PhD program in data science that has been recently created and is going to start in August this year. And also, we should mention we have an existing professional master program in data science that has been accredited for 5 years, which is a real success here. So, and has seen a considerable growth in enrollment. So we are proud about this achievement and these new initiatives. So we envision ourselves, as a referent for AI and data science research and education in Latin America. And in this propitious context, we want to establish a strong collaboration in research and a student exchange with some prestigious international institutions. So the agreement with MIDAS is timely, encouraging, and path-breaking from that point of view. So we have much to gain from the interaction with such a large, diverse, and prestigious research institution, and in particular, especially our students. So I think we also have much to offer through our research, or our students, our liaison with research institutions, industry, and other organizations. Maybe next slide, please. And then, well, actually, we are doing research at a high international level in several areas of AI and data science. I don't want to go into many details, but I think we have, we can say that we are doing a strong and solid research in data management, graph databases, knowledge representation or reasoning, causality, explainability, and fairness in data management and AI. I mean, all these are important subjects today in the broader area of ethical AI. Yeah. Also, statistical relational learning, probabilistic graphical model, kernel-based methods in machine learning and statistics, non-parametric statistics, diverse applications of deep learning. We are doing also analytics and machine learning with spatial, temporal, and georeference data, analytics and machine learning with astronomical data, as our dean mentioned a few minutes ago. This is a very important area for us, and also predictive and prescriptive analytics. I mean, we are open to many other areas and possible collaboration. So we are happy to explore new directions as well. So we can see that there is a potential for a rich interaction with our partners in Michigan, and looking forward to see this agreement develop into fruitful, collaboration. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Leopoldo. Jack, if you want to.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Vanessa. So MIDAS is an institute at the University of Michigan, which is a university-wide institute. And the mission of MIDAS is to strengthen our university's preeminence in data science and artificial intelligence, and enable the transformative use of these technologies in a wide range of research disciplines for lasting social impact. And so we work with across the university with a range of disciplines, and a lot of the kind of thing that we do is to try to bring cutting edge methods to new disciplines, and to develop collaborations. A lot of our work on collaborations has been, or primarily our work on collaborations has been within our university, across departments and colleges within the university. I'm really delighted that we have this new budding collaboration with University Adolfo Ibáñez, and I think there are really exciting opportunities in a number of areas, as you see in this slide that is still up. I want to call out two specific things, just as to make the discussion more concrete, of things that are already happening, or that we have had some initial, very early preliminary discussion of, that I'm very excited about. One is in the area of data science ethics. We have had a significant effort over the past several years at the University of Michigan. We have significant, we lead a National Institute on data equity, and I've had some preliminary discussions with Professor Bertozzi on doing some work together on sort of ethical and fair use of AI and data science, and a project associated with the Inter-American Development Bank. And it's very early, of course, and we haven't yet done much, but I think that there are a lot of opportunities here, and I'm excited to see where we can go with this, because of course this is a very important area. The second thing that I want to talk about, maybe I want to take a step back and about data science as a field, bringing data-driven methods to a wide range of disciplines. Perhaps the leading and the first major success was in astronomy, and there is a thing called the Sloan Digital Sky Survey, which is a standard of successful data science today, used by worldwide by most astronomers. In Chile, with the establishment of a new observatory in the Atacama called the LSST, there is a great deal of new astronomical data that is going to be sourced. And you heard Dean Jerez mention the data observatory. And I think that this whole space, I think, provides us with an opportunity to create the next generation of SDSS, as it were, and to make this into the kind of resource that today the SDSS is. And I'm really excited to be able to partner with our collaborators in this kind of vision. So welcome to everybody, and back to you, Vanessa.
Thank you so much, Jack. I just want to point out that to our audience that if you have any questions for Professor Leopoldo Bertozzi or HV, you can send them through the questions and answer box. After presentations, our speakers will go through them and they will try to answer them, trying to answer as many as possible. Jack, Leo, you still have some minutes. I don't know if you want to point out any specifics related to data science.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be mentioned later on, but I mean, we have already some plans, I mean, for how to take it from here. So like joint workshops, and are you going to present something about that?
Yes, yes,
oh, okay.
Exactly. Good.
I think that is important to see some, there are at least some initial steps that we have in plan, and that is important. So.
Thank you, Leo. Yes, at the end of the presentation, we will show the roadmap that is included for this alliance. Well, thank you both. And now we will move on to the opportunities in mathematics and applications that are under this alliance. We will welcome again Mrs. Lidia Vieri, remember, and Gonzalo Ruz. Lidia is the director for the mathematics and interdisciplinary sciences. And Gonzalo is the Dean Research Innovation Associate, okay? Lidia, if you want, you can share your presentation. I know that you have information for us. You can go ahead and share.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you very much. So thank you all very much, especially also the team from Universidad Adolfo Ibáñez for organizing this webinar. So let me give you an overview from the Mccain Institute. So Mccain, this is our Michigan Center for Applied and Interdisciplinary Mathematics. So this is the opportunities in terms of mathematics and applications. So we are happy we also signed this agreement with UAI. And so maybe let me present first, what is Mccain? What is this center? What have you been doing? Activities, how do we integrate mathematics with applications? And also point out concretely, so where do we see some opportunities, especially for these collaboration? So I will put in occasionally just to have you an idea, to give you a virtual tour, also some photos of our campus here. So I hope you can visit us soon in person. So the McCain, this is a center which is first of all hosted in the Department of Mathematics at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. And it's a recent, it's a newer center. So the main idea here that this center serves as a focal point integrating mathematics with the sciences and engineering. So that's understood in a really broad sense. And first, this is what we do at U of M, hoping to integrate mathematics with the engineering and sciences, but also internationally. So we organize conferences, as I will show a few slides down the road. So how did this all start? So the first idea is that we looked at U of M itself, and we said, well, mathematics nowadays, of course, is more and more important in all kinds of applications. And so there's a strong math department, and equally interesting, so in the College of Engineering, at the College of Arts and Sciences, School of Medicine, School of Public Health, etc. So there's a large group of faculty who do applications with some very strong mathematical background. So the idea was a few years ago, namely in 2016, to profit from these great circumstances. So this center, McCain, was founded in 2016 with the idea to connect mathematics with the sciences. And we have projects with physics, computer science, different kinds of engineering, etc. So maybe just a few words about what is the vision, what is really the idea behind all that. As I hinted at already, so when you look at modern problems, and actually deep learning, machine learning is one of them that we heard from the previous presentations. So in our modern world, we have an increasing number of really challenging problems all over areas of applications, where you need to go deeper into the details, where a lot of mathematical structures are lying beneath. So we need to incorporate the mathematical understanding with these applications. And vice versa, quite often you have a lot of, let's say, applications which give you new ideas for mathematical research. So it has been become more and more clear over the past years that really, in order to progress, to have the biggest results and success in these applied areas, we need to combine our mathematical ideas with the applications and have an open pool of discussions and collaborations. So we do foster collaborations. How do we do that? So first of all, the goals, we want to build a community of mathematicians, engineers, and scientists from different fields which share the common goal of solving interdisciplinary problems. And so we do that by helping launch collaborations, by foster research collaborations. This was started first at U of M between the departments and schools, but we took a step further. So we also want to do that also on an international level. We have already established exchange and collaborations with other international institutions. And another goal, of course, within the research commitments and research collaborations, we want to educate our junior scientists and mathematicians, so the graduate students and postdocs. We also run summer schools and related programs to specifically train students and junior scientists. Let me maybe give you a brief overview of what we have been doing and how some of these programs can be coordinated also and made use of together with the new collaboration with UAI. So McCain typically organizes conferences, workshops, and advanced summer schools. This depends between 2 to 3 per year. So usually we have a bunch of maybe 25 roughly invited speakers. And so these are typically events that could be on a smaller end with 200 up to maybe 100 researchers to come to campus. And these are typically international events. We also have a visitors program. So typically we have maybe short-term visitors, but we can also invite some long-term visitors. They would typically give some lecture series, and often this could be co-aligned with some theme for maybe a semester or for a month or two. McCain also oversees the Van Loo Post-Doctoral Fellowship Program. So this is an endowed program where we hire roughly 3 postdocs every year, which do research in mathematics and an applied area. So the focus is really that the research is interdisciplinary. So they have some teaching reductions and it's a prestigious fellowship that we give out. So we also manage a symposium fund that is actually shared. So we have symposia together with physics, for instance. So there's some endowment for that. So as I said, we want to, at McCain, we really bridge the research and education between all areas of mathematics and application. So this is really understood in a broad sense. We have done this in the past, for instance, with collaborations with physics, with electric math and electrical engineering. So there have been a lot of interesting projects. I can show you just a few of them in a minute. So as I mentioned, we have McCain had started off as doing these connections at U of M, bringing the different expertise on campus together, but we have stepped up and we have we organize these international events. We bring in international speakers and visitors. So we want to do that on an international platform. Also, recently, we have established different connections to other institutions worldwide to facilitate this exchange of visitors and to organize joint events, to foster also and launch collaborations between research groups internationally. So here we have the new partnership with Universidad Adolfo Ibáñez, which is a great, exciting new partnership that I will talk about a little bit more in a moment. And maybe a few new things that we have done just in the past year. So unfortunately, we couldn't hold any in-person events because of the pandemic, but we did a lot online. So we initiated, for instance, a new McCain colloquium where we invite 4 speakers per semester to give some distinguished lecture series. We initiated some graduate seminar where this is open to any, let's say, graduate students who do work in, let's say, mathematics and applications. But so here we have the philosophy also that all kinds of mathematics can potentially be applied. So we have really an open source for everybody who is interested in some interdisciplinary research. So to give you just an idea how, for instance, some of what we did in the last few years. So this is just a selection of some of the programs that we funded and organized. So for instance, we had some summer school on random matrices. This is really where we invite postdocs and grad students and we train them. So this is an international summer school with international speakers and international students. We had a specific event for graduate research opportunities for women that we sponsored. We had the Great Lakes SIAM conference, so the Society for Industrial and Applied Mathematics. And we had some integer programming and combinatorial optimization workshop. We had a conference on fluids, materials, and biology, so very interdisciplinary also, and a conference in partial differential equations and applications. So that's just a sample of things we did just before the pandemic started. And so on that level, maybe let me briefly tell you a little bit about the organization. McCain is a smaller center compared to MIDAS or MICTI at U of M. But it's a group of very dedicated people who sit together and work on these. So we have we have a group of people in the steering committee representing mathematics, computational medicine, physics, electrical engineering, and computer science. So we have a steering committee that reflects all these areas, and we try to reach out to all the different schools and departments. All right, so who is involved at U of M? I have just maybe 2 more minutes to tell you a few more things. So this is not to learn by heart, it's just to give you an idea what kind, instead of going deeper into details, I mean, we have partnered with the different physics, astrophysics, different departments in the sciences, and we have a large spectrum. We have an excellent engineering school, obviously, and we have mainly, for instance, interacted with some, let's say, projects that we sponsored combined with mathematics in electrical engineering, computer science, aerospace engineering, but also, as it was talked about, artificial intelligence, deep learning. So McCain, MIDAS, and MICTI, a few representatives of these 3 centers, have actually also come together to talk about how can we really, let's say, foster and bring forward deep learning from different perspectives. So for instance, there's different initiatives on campus also. Maybe a quick overview about the math department, because we want to really relate mathematics to applications. So the math department here at U of M, we have about between 50 and 60 tenure track faculty whose main, who do a lot of research in different areas, from what we call pure applied math. So I think there's one thing called math, but there's people doing very, very different things. Some have interdisciplinary projects by tradition with other departments. We have about between 10 and 20 lecturers who take care of the big classes we teach mainly. We have more than 70 postdocs, which also teach in mathematics and have and do research. Then in terms of graduate students, we have a lot of graduate students at the moment, more than 140. This includes what often is called pure mathematics, maybe around 100, and AIM, applied and interdisciplinary mathematics, about 40. So it's a large pool of graduate students. In terms of undergraduate students, our department is mentoring usually between 800 and 1,000 major or minor students each year, and we teach math classes all over the campus. So this is just to give you an idea of the numbers. So together with Universidad Adolfo Ibáñez, so McCain had this great opportunity. We talked to Dean Jerez and Carlos and a few other people. So I think there's some great opportunities to connect U of M campus with the researchers at UAI. So where McCain can help, so we have a visitors program, as I mentioned. So what we can do, what we are looking forward to, is to have some scientific exchange and some specific research collaboration that we can co-sponsor. So this would include short-term visitors from UAI visiting Michigan and vice versa. Then we would be glad to collaborate with third parties, again, also organizing conferences or research collaborations. Something we have done a lot, so the workshops that we organize are all interdisciplinary and mostly international workshops. So there's a lot of, let's say, synergies also we can use here. And then at the level of the graduate students, I think there's a lot of potential. So McCain runs summer schools on specific topics and has other programs. So it would be great to have graduate students from UAI participate also in McCain run programs. And we can certainly have groups of grad students come to U of M to interact with our local faculty and students, and also some of the U of M students can come to Chile and interact with the local faculty there. So maybe I stop here, and there's much more information on our website, so please feel free to email me or to look at our website. There's a lot more of information. And so we are looking forward to these collaborations with our colleagues at UAI. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lydia. So now we will continue with Gonzalo Ruz.
Okay.
1 second. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back again.
Okay, so well, thank you, Lydia, for your presentation. In fact, it's very interesting because our faculty, which is engineering and sciences, has a unique configuration. In fact, we don't have departments. We are just organized in 14 disciplinary groups. Therefore, it's very, in spirit, it's very similar to what you presented for McCain, in the sense that we have lots of engineering and sciences disciplines. They all have in common, from the research point of view, where the focus is mathematical modeling. And so from here, you can see
and there is an interaction between these groups, either through the energy group interacting with our operations research, and also data science with physics and astronomy, and so forth. So it's very interesting because I think as the model is very similar to what you presented. Our faculty, in fact, we have the total group has about 76 tenure track professors, and then there's roughly about, I had it written down, about 20 lecturers. And essentially and therefore the research is conducted mostly interdisciplinary between these groups. Currently we have about 60 ongoing research projects, most of them funded by ANID, which is our national research and development funding agency, similar to NSF in the US. Here I just wrote down a few examples of these. Some of these are group projects, some of the other ones are individual projects, but many of them have in their basis things to do with optimization, PDEs, modeling, network science. And so therefore, I think there are many interesting, from the research point of view, instances where we can collaborate. Get in the next slide, please. And also from the educational point of view, we currently have 2 PhD programs, the first 2 that appear on the list. There's a third one, which Professor Bertossi just mentioned, will start during the 2nd semester of this year. Our first PhD program is in complex system engineering, which is also a topic I noticed in your slide as being one of the areas of the McCain Center. And also we have another strong group in industrial engineering and operations research. And after that, we have 3 academic master programs. The first one, Master in Engineering and Sciences, in fact, has many sub-areas. Yeah, many of the sub-areas related to the disciplinary groups that we just saw before. And also there's this newly Master in Science in Data Science that Professor Bertossi mentioned, and also a Master's in Industrial Engineering and Operations Research. Also, from the mathematical point of view, we are working with potentially a new undergrad bachelor of science, where one of the sub-areas will be mathematics, as well as an engineering career in computational mathematics. And so in the near future, we'll also be working in probably a new PhD program related to applied mathematics. Now, related to funding opportunities, so from our side, we have allocated some funds, thinking of matching funds where to start off some projects in collaboration with McCain and also with MIDAS. And essentially, the idea here, and this I'll connect to what Leopoldo also mentioned, the idea is that our collaboration roadmap will include at the very beginning some workshops, some scientific workshops where from both sides we'll be able to see what are our current research topics and projects where one can start relating and probably apply to some of these matching funds, as well as the opportunity to co-fund postdoc positions and probably having a postdoc that can spend some time in Michigan and some other time here in Chile, in Santiago or Viña del Mar, our 2 branches. And so for the next slide, please. Yes, so I wanted to talk about how we expect to collaborate and organize this collaboration. So basically, the idea is that during May, we will try to organize 2 workshops, one related to present work from our side on related to applied mathematics, and of course what from McCain, and then the other workshop related to data science, also to to start, so the professors can start meeting and seeing what type of research has been conducted from both sides, and to see where there's a common point where there can start some collaboration. Then, of course, a bit of wishful thinking. It doesn't do any harm to anyone. We would really like to travel in October to visit MIDAS and McCain. And of course, this is, of course, subject to the pandemic conditions. But for now, we have it written down in October. And hopefully we can do this. If not, this will be shifted, of course. And in the same way, probably for researchers from Michigan come to the summer here in Santiago and Viña del Mar in January to start off these potential collaborations. So this is, I think, the first one in May, which is virtual. We'll have no problem in organizing that. But of course, the other dates that I mentioned there are tentative and, of course, conditioned to the pandemic. So those are basically some concrete collaboration activities that we plan for the future. Thank you. Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you, Gonzalo, and to all of our speakers. I don't know if we have some minutes left. I don't know if you want to take on, we have 2 questions through the question box, if you want to share them with the audience. Maybe Gonzalo, you can take the lead, or
Yes,
Lydia.
Let me see.
So I can respond to the first question, I think, which is about social networks. And I think that this is an area in which we have quite a lot of work. And in the use of a whole range of network analysis techniques and algorithms, particularly as is suggested by the questioner with respect to natural language in this context, and being able to code it for polarities of sentiments and so on. And this is technology that has turned out to be useful in a broad range of social sciences in terms of understanding questions of social interaction, political science, and so on. And there are a number of efforts in this direction at the University of Michigan. One in particular is there will be, about a year from now, a text as data conference that is being organized by one of our colleagues who's in the Department of Political Science and at the Institute for Social Research, and is something that MIDAS is assisting with, and that might be a good location too. So this is definitely an interesting and important area, and we look forward to more conversations on this.
Thank you, Jack. Leo, Lydia, or Gonzalo, do you want to take the second question?
I can take the second question, as it's about, the question was about if there's some project or research online available from McCain, where about the data models or algorithms used in solving these problems. So that's a huge area, right? So we have all kinds of different problems that we talk about, and if you think about algorithms, for instance, in data science, etc., I mean, there's different approaches, and people have different ideas. So really, we have many projects on campus at U of M where people have different ideas or approaches from the mathematical side, or also from the data science side. So We do not have a database at the McCain website. What we do, we bring people together, and you would find this information. Then you see who is members, etc., at the websites of these different research collaborations. So we're bringing people together. We have some information, for instance, if you have a specific topic, we organize maybe a conference or we have a workshop on a specific topic. So then you will find maybe some focus on certain, let's say, mathematical approaches that are studied there. But this is too broad to do anything like that. So what we have is we bring people together. We have a team you go to if you would like to get these questions answered. So you would have to go to the different, let's say, faculty websites and collaboration websites where this is spelled out. So basically, for being a mathematician, any kind of math has the potential of being applied. And when you talk to people in applications, there's sometimes ideas that you think, oh, yeah, maybe we can do something from the mathematical side. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Lydia. We have 2 more questions. Gonzalo and Leo, do you want to take the last question regarding optimization?
There is one on bioengineering. I mean,
yes.
Well, actually, yeah, in our faculty, we have a group of doing research in bioengineering. Actually, is a very good one. So I see possibilities for collaboration in that direction, definitely. The other thing I should mention is that we are starting to collaborate also on genomic data, all the omics, right, with the University of Leuven. And actually, so this is an area in which we are very much interested. We are going to start doing some research and collaborating with other institutions that are strong in that area. And I can see that there will be room for collaborating with MIDAS and Michigan in general in that direction as well. Yeah. So I think that is something that we are starting to do and we are interested in doing. Yeah.
Thank you. So we have one last question, and I think we can finalize our session. Gonzalo, do you want to take the last question?
Yeah, so the last question is related to stochastic programming and optimization in general, what we presented. So basically here from our side, we have a group on OR which works on these topics, and the idea, of course, is through the workshops that we plan to conduct, is also to see people from McCain and MIDAS to see if they're also working in some of these optimization problems and or techniques, and for sure to see if there is any potential collaboration. But at this moment, we don't discard any type of research line. Basically, we're just interested in if there's some type of mathematics behind. We will try to see if there is an option to establish a collaboration.
Thank you, Gonzalo. And thank you to all of our speakers. We have now reached the end of our webinar. We thank you to our partners at MIDAS and McCain for joining today. Also to our faculty professors, Mr. Bertossi and Gonzalo Ruz. And also we want to thank the Chilean Economic Development Agency, Corfo, which, we have our strategic plan, Engineering 2030. They support it, and it's part of this alliance is part of it. Well, so thank you so much. Thank you to our dean as well, and to all the audience. We will now move on, and these are the contact details from our speakers in case there are research topics or initiatives that have been shown today that are suitable for your research or your interest. Please contact our speakers. They're most happy to help to generate collaboration. And if you have any questions related or comments related to the webinar in general, you can write to us at ingenieria.uai@cl. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a really good afternoon. Thank you.
Vanessa, one last question.
Yes.
Is the recording going to be available?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Carlos. Yes, it will be available. We will upload it to our YouTube channel, and very soon it will be uploaded into our Netflix channel.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
everyone.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks.